The first time I saw the cop cars roll up my driveway, lights flashing like a 4th of July parade gone wrong, I thought someone had died, or at least misplaced $1,000,000. Nope. It was Karen, clipboard in hand, claiming my mailbox was 2 inches too tall. 2 inches. I stood there, coffee mug steaming in the crisp Georgia morning air, watching 6 deputies swarm my front yard like I'd hidden a stash of pirate gold under the porch. They weren't real cops, though. Oh no, these were Karen's minions, decked out in vests with Pinewood HOA enforcement, ironed on like it meant something. I couldn't decide whether to laugh or cry, so I just sipped my coffee and said, "Y'all lost." That's when Karen stepped forward, her smile sharp enough to cut glass, and I knew. This wasn't a neighborly visit. This was war. Before I continue the story, write a comment below. Where are you watching from? Like if you want to constantly win in any conflicts. I'm Jake Callahan, 38, ex-Navy logistics guy turned small-town dreamer. 6 months ago, I sank every dime I had, $220,000 to be exact, into this 80-acre slice of heaven just outside Macon. No skyscrapers, no honking horns, just rolling hills, a creaky old farmhouse, and my mutt, buddy, chasing squirrels like it's his full-time job. I'd spent years dodging orders in war zones. Now, all I wanted was peace. A porch swing. A cold beer at sunset. Maybe a tomato garden that didn't die on me. Simple, right? Wrong. Because 3 weeks after I moved in, Karen Simmons, self-crowned queen of the Pinewood Homeowners Association, decided my freedom was her personal punching bag. It started small. A note nailed to my gate, literally nailed, like we're in medieval times, saying my fence was visually disruptive. I've got a split-rail fence, folks, the kind you see on postcards with happy cows. Disruptive to what? The deer? I tossed the note in the trash and figured that was that. Big mistake. 2 days later, a laminated sign popped up on my lawn. Notice, property under review. HOA compliance required. It looked official, fancy fonts, little checkboxes, but something was off. The address at the bottom? A P.O. box in Atlanta, 90 miles away. We're in rural Georgia, not some gated suburb. I ripped it down, burned it in my fire pit, and thought, Karen's got too much time on her hands. Turns out, she had more than time, she had a plan. Next came the visit. Picture this. I'm elbow deep in tractor grease, buddy snoring in the shade, when a white SUV screeches up my gravel drive like it's auditioning for a car chase movie. Out steps Karen, khakis pressed to perfection, sunglasses perched like she's Secret Service, clipboard tucked under her arm like a loaded weapon. "Hi, Jake," she chirps like we're old pals. "I'm Karen Simmons, Pinewood HOA president. Just doing my rounds to welcome you." I wipe my hands on a rag, squinting at her. "HOA? This is farmland. The only community here is me and the chickens." Her smile doesn't budge. "Oh, we're a chartered coalition, standards for fencing, noise, livestock ratios. You'll get used to it." She hands me a packet thicker than a phone book. "Welcome to Yo Pinewood. Action required." I flip it open later, pages of rules, grainy photos of my barn circled in red, a note about my non-compliant satellite dish. I burn that too, but the smoke's still rising when I hear Buddy bark at something new. 2 guys this time, late 20s, matching khakis and vests, strolling my property line with walkie-talkies. One scribbling on, "Yep," a clipboard. I step onto the porch, voice low. "Can I help you?" They freeze, then one stammers, "Compliance sweep. HOA protocol." I laugh, loud enough to scare the crows. "Protocol? You're trespassing, boys. Get off my land." They scurry away, but not before I spot a map sticking out of a vest pocket, my house circled, labeled Target Alpha. That night, I call my buddy Mike, a deputy in Bibb County. "Ever hear of Pinewood HOA?" He snorts. "Nope, but Karen tried to find my uncle's feed store last year, called it a noise violation." She's nuts. Nuts didn't cover it. Because the next morning, I wake up to those fake cops, Karen smirking like she's won the lottery, and a sinking feeling this is just the beginning. Here's where it gets wild. Those deputies start measuring my mailbox 2 inches too tall, they say, citing some rule from Karen's packet. I'm standing there, steam practically pouring out my ears, when one of them trips over Buddy's water bowl and lands face first in the dirt. Karen doesn't blink. "We're documenting violations, Jake. Citations start next week." I lean in, voice ice cold. "Cite me for what?" Breathing too loud. She just smiles and waves them off. But as they peel out, I spot a logo on the SUV, Pinewood Community Standards Task Force. A task force. For a mailbox. That's when I realized Karen's not just annoying, she's dangerous. And I'm not about to let her steamroll my life without a fight. So there I am, still steaming from the mailbox fiasco, when I spot something new glinting in the morning sun. 3 shiny signs zip-tied to my fence like they're guarding Fort Knox. Property under enforcement review. Violations pending. Laminated, bold letters, nailed up higher than last time. I grab my pliers, yank them down, and toss them in the burn pile, but the smoke's barely curling when I hear it, tires crunching gravel, slow and deliberate. 2 guys in khaki vests climb out of a pickup, clipboards in hand, radios crackling. One points at my old John Deere tractor and mutters, non-compliant equipment. I step off the porch, Buddy growling low at my side. You're back, I say, voice sharp. HOA patrol, the taller one replies, nervous but rehearsed. Leave, I tell them. They do, but not before I catch a glimpse of their truck's license plate. Unregistered, just a blank slab of metal. That's when my gut twists. This isn't a game anymore. By noon, I'm on the phone with Mike again, pacing my kitchen. Fake plates, man. Who are these clowns? Mike's quiet for a sec, then says, Karen's been recruiting. Heard she's got half a dozen locals spooked into joining her task force. She's calling it community pride. Pride? More like a cult. I hang up, grab my binoculars, and climb to the attic window. Sure enough, across the road at old Mrs. Harper's place, Karen's SUV is parked, and she's handing out vests to 3 guys I recognize. Tom from the gas station, Dave who fixes tires, and some kid I've seen mowing lawns. They're nodding like she's handing out medals. I mutter to Buddy, she's building an army. He tilts his head, and I swear he gets it. That night, I rig up some cheap motion lights from Home Depot, $29.99 a pop, worth every penny. I'm not hiding anymore. I want them to know I'm watching. And they come back. Oh yes, they do. At 3 a.m., my phone pings, motion alert. I check the feed. For shadows creeping along my east fence, headlamps bobbing like fireflies. One's got a tape measure, stretching it across my gate. Another's snapping photos of my barn. I flick on the floods, bam, light blasts the yard like a rock concert. They scatter, tripping over each other. One guy yelling into his radio, abort, abort. I'm half laughing, half furious, sipping cold coffee on the porch as Buddy barks his head off. But then I see it, a dropped clipboard, pages fluttering in the dirt. I snatch it up, maps of my land, my neighbors too, red X's marking priority zones. Mine's labeled Alpha, high resistance. My heart skips. This is personal. Next morning, I'm at the diner in town, grabbing biscuits and gravy, when I overhear Tom at the counter. Karen says Callahan's a problem. He whispers to Dave. Says he's disrupting harmony. Dave nods, sipping his Coke. She's got plans, big ones. I slide into the booth behind them, casual as can be, and call out, plans for what, boys? My tractor. They freeze, faces red, and bolt out the door. I pay my tab, $8.75, and head home, but the air feels heavier now. Karen's not just harassing me, she's turning people against me. That afternoon, a flyer shows up in my mailbox, no stamp, hand-delivered. It's a photo of my house, drone shot, with text, Zone A, and no compliant. Residents advised to avoid contact. Avoid contact? Like I'm a plague? I crumple it, but the sting lingers. Then it hits harder. I'm hauling feed from the co-op when Jerry, my neighbor 2 miles down, pulls up in his rusty Ford. He's a good guy, helped me fix my roof last spring, shared a beer on my porch. Now he won't meet my eyes. Jake, he mumbles, Karen's saying you're trouble. Says we're next if we don't comply. I lean on my truck, jaw tight. You buying that? He shrugs. She's got photos, man. Rules. People listen. He drives off, and I'm left standing there, $40 sack of grain at my feet, feeling the ground shift. That night, my trail cam catches something worse, 2 figures near my barn, one tossing glass shards where Buddy sleeps. I find him at dawn, paw bleeding, whining soft. I scoop him up, rage boiling, whispering, you're okay, boy. But I'm not. Karen's crossed a line, and I'm done playing nice. Across town, Karen's holding court in her driveway. No mic, just a folding table and a megaphone. I hear it from Mike later. She's got 20 people, vests on, chanting about standards. She points at my photo on a poster. Jake Callahan thinks he's above us. He's wrong. Back home, I'm cleaning Buddy's paw, hands shaking, when my phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. Comply or lose it all. I stare at the screen, the quiet of my farmhouse deafening. Karen's not just a nuisance now. She's a machine, and I'm the wrench in her gears. But I've got a few tricks left, and she's about to find out what happens when you push a guy like me too far. I'm kneeling by Buddy's side, wrapping his paw in gauze, when the first drone buzzes overhead, low, fast, a black speck against the pink Georgia dawn. My stomach drops. This isn't Karen's usual nonsense. This is next level. I grab my phone, hit record, and catch it swooping over my barn before it vanishes into the pines. Buddy whimpers, and I mutter, "We're okay, pal," but my voice shakes. I'm not okay. Not after the glass, not after Jerry's betrayal, and definitely not now. I upload the clip to my laptop, grainy, but clear enough to show a logo, Pinewood Compliance Network. Network? Since when does an HOA have drones? I'm about to call Mike when my mailbox clanks, another flyer, this one laminated like it's a collector's item. Resident classification, critical non-compliant. Action required, Re-education seminar, Karen's garage, Saturday 10 a.m. Re-education? I laugh, bitter and loud, but it sticks in my throat. Across town, Karen's ramping up. Mike texts me a photo, her driveway's packed. 30 people in vests, a banner screaming community standards now. She's got a megaphone, barking orders like a drill sergeant. Jake Callahan's a threat to our harmony, she yells, and the crowd claps. Mike adds, she's handing out compliance kits, clipboards, pins, rules. It's a circus. Back home, I'm pacing, the flyer crumpled in my fist. Re-education in her garage? What's next? Loyalty oaths. I check Buddy's paw again, his big brown eyes locked on me, trusting. That's when I decide, I'm not hiding anymore. I grab my old Navy duffel, dig out a trail cam I used in Kuwait, waterproof, night vision, $120 back in the day, and set it up near the barn. If Karen's watching, I'm watching back. Friday night, I'm sipping sweet tea on the porch, the air thick with cicadas, when the cam pings. 2 figures, khakis, headlamps, sneaking along my fence. One's got a can of paint, spraying a black X on my gate. The other's on a radio, voice crackling, target marked, Phase 2 active. Phase 2? I zoom in, Tom from the gas station, hands shaking as he paints. I don't yell, I just watch, heart pounding. By morning, the X is dry, glaring at me like a scar. I call Mike. They're tagging my place now. Drones, paint, what's she planning? He's quiet, then says, checked her P.O. box. It's tied to a nonprofit Community Horizon outreach. Karen's listed as director. A nonprofit? For an HOA? I hang up, head spinning, and that's when I spot it. A white sedan idling a quarter-mile down the road, windows tinted, no plates. I grab my binoculars, it peels out the second I focus. This isn't local anymore. Saturday dawns hot and sticky. I don't go to Karen's seminar, no way I'm stepping into her trap, but I hear about it from Sarah, the co-op cashier. She whispers over my $15 feed purchase, Karen had posters of your house, Jake. Said you're a disruptor. People sign pledges to isolate you, no contact, no help. I grip my teeth. Pledges. She nods, eyes wide. They're scared of her. I drive home, the sedan tailing me half the way before veering off. That night, my cam catches 3 of them, Tom, Dave, and a new guy cutting wires on my second trail cam. I find it dead at sunrise, lens smashed. I'm shaking as I sweep the pieces into a bag, but it's not fear, it's fury. They're not just watching me, they're dismantling my defenses. Meanwhile, Karen's crew hits Jerry's place. He calls me, voice low. They left a sign on my porch, comply or vacate. I didn't sign her pledge, Jake. Now they're after me too. I hear his kids crying in the background, and my chest tightens. Hang on, Jerry, I say, but he hangs up first. Back at my place, I'm bolting a new lock on the barn when Buddy barks, a sharp, urgent yelp. I spin around, another flyer, stabbed into my front door with a nail. Final notice, surrender non-compliant assets or face consequences. Assets? My land? My home? I rip it down, but the words burn into me. That night, the sedan's back, parked closer, headlights off. I snap a photo blurry, but enough to catch a partial plate. CH-021. I text it to Mike. His reply comes fast, registered to that nonprofit. Jake, this is bigger than Karen. Sunday morning, I'm feeding Buddy when the drone returns, louder, hovering right above my porch. I grab a broom, swing at it like a lunatic, and it dips low, buzzing my head before retreating. I'm panting, broom in hand, when my phone buzzes, another text, unknown number, You can't stop progress. Progress? This is my life they're shredding. I call Mike, voice cracking. They're everywhere, drones, cars, signs. What's her endgame? He's grim. Found a ledger at the sheriff's office, fake, but detailed. Your name's on it, marked obstructionist. Others too, all rural folks. She's targeting properties, Jake. Pushing people out. I stare at Buddy, his bandaged paw, and feel something snap. Karen's not just a bully, she's a cog in something massive. And I'm about to turn her little empire upside down. HOA. Socially. I'm scrubbing Buddy's water bowl, still fuming about that drone, when my phone pings, Mike, voice tight. Jake, get to my place. Now. I don't ask why. I just grab my keys, pat Buddy's head, and peel out in my F-150, dust kicking up behind me. 15 minutes later, I'm in Mike's garage, staring at a stack of papers he pulled from a lockbox at the sheriff's office. Found this in an evidence sweep, he says, sliding a binder across the workbench. It's leather, embossed with Pinewood Compliance Authority fancy, official, fake as a $3 bill. Inside? Maps, schedules, resident profiles. My name's at the top, Callahan, Jake. Status, primary resistance. Action, neutralize. Neutralize? My pulse jacks up. This isn't HOA, Mike, I say, flipping pages. This is a playbook. He nods, pointing to a spreadsheet, 6 properties, mine highlighted in red, others crossed out. Look at the dates. 2 sold last month, 1's vacant now. All rural, all targeted. I scan the names, Jerry's there, marked, pending compliance. My throat tightens. She's not just harassing us, she's clearing us out. Mike taps a logo in the corner, Community Horizon Outreach. That nonprofit again. Traced it, he says. Shell company, funded through a grant. No names, just a P.O. box in Savannah. I'm about to ask more when his radio crackles. Dispatch, reporting a compliance check at Jerry's place. We lock eyes. Let's go, I say, and we're out the door, cruiser lights off but engine roaring. We roll up to Jerry's farm just as Karen's crew, 5 of them, vests gleaming, nails a sign to his barn, vacate notice, and no compliant. Jerry's on his porch, kids peeking out, face pale. I jump out, Mike behind me, badge flashing. Back off, he barks. Karen steps forward, clipboard raised like a shield. This is sanctioned, deputy. Community standards. Mike rips the sign down. Sanctioned by who? Show me a warrant. She smirks, hands him a crumpled paper, handwritten. No seal. That's trash, I snap, and her eyes lock on me, cold and steady. You're next, Jake. They retreat, but not before I spot Tom slipping a tracker under Jerry's truck. I yank it off, crush it under my boot, and Jerry whispers, thanks, man. I nod, but my mind's racing. This is coordinated. Back home, I'm digging through that binder when Buddy growls, low and sharp. I glance out, 3 figures near my barn, flashlights off, moving fast. I grab my old Navy flashlight, 500 lumens, and hit the yard. Smile, boys. I yell, blasting light in their faces. They bolt. Dave's one of them, tripping over a feed bucket, but leave behind a bag. Inside? Spray paint, wire cutters, and a note. Phase 3, escalate. Escalate? I'm shaking as I call Mike. They're hitting me tonight. Found tools, real sabotage. He's grim. Lock it down, Jake. I'm pulling records on that grant. I rig my porch lights to strobe, blinding, disorienting, and sit up with Buddy, shotgun by the door, legal and unloaded. I'm not looking for trouble. I just want them to know I'm ready. Next morning, Mike calls. Grants tied to a Fed program, Rural Stability Initiative. Shut down years ago, or so they say. My blood runs cold. I know that name. Back in '09, I consulted on it, wrote a memo on managing rural outliers post-crisis. Soft power stuff, rules, pressure, compliance. They're using my work, I mutter, and Mike's quiet. You're in deep, Jake. That afternoon, a certified letter lands in my box, Karen suing me for disrupting community action. Attached? A list of names, mine, Jerry's, and one I know too well, Sarah from the co-op, labeled informant. Sarah? She's been feeding Karen intel? I'm gut-punched, staring at Buddy's trusting eyes. When my cam pings again, 2 drones now, circling tight. I grab my broom again, swinging wild, but they dodge, buzzing louder. Across town, Karen's at it again, flyers everywhere. My face plastered on them. Enemy of order. Mike texts. She's got 40 people at her place, chanting your name. Back here. I'm piecing it together, the binder, the grant, my memo. This isn't Karen's brainchild. She's a puppet, testing something bigger. That night, the sedan's back, closer, engine idling. I snap a photo, plates clear now. CH-021. Mike runs it. Matches the nonprofit. Feds might be watching. Watching? My hands clench. I post the drone clip online, HOA gone wild, and it blows up, 50,000 views in hours. Comments flood in. Same thing in Texas. They hit my farm too. I'm not alone, but that doesn't calm the storm in my chest. Karen's a front, and whatever's behind her just noticed me fighting back. I'm staring at my laptop, the drone video ticking past 200,000 views, when Buddy's ears perk up, a low rumble outside, not thunder, not a truck. I grab my flashlight and step onto the porch. 3 figures emerge from the shadows, no headlights, just boots crunching gravel, vests glinting under my floodlights. One's got a clipboard, the others carry bags, tools, maybe worse. My heart slams. Evening, fellas, I call, voice steady. Clipboard guy steps up, face blank. Seizure protocol, Callahan. You've ignored re-education. I laugh, sharp and cold. Seizure? With what authority? He holds up a paper, typed, no seal. Emergency clause C-12. Property's forfeitable. I snap a photo of it, grinning. Good luck with that. They don't budge, so I hit my strobe lights, red flashes pulse, disorienting. They stumble, one drops his bag, and I scoop it up as they retreat. Wire cutters, paint, a map with my house circled. My blood's boiling, but I've got evidence now. Across town, Karen's losing it. Mike calls, voice low. She's on a rampage, flyers everywhere, your face labeled, threat level red. Got 50 people at her place, chanting for order. I'm pacing, Buddy at my heels, when my phone buzzes, Jerry. Jake, they hit my barn and smashed a window. My kids are scared. I grip the phone. Stay put, man. I'm ending this. I upload the fake seizure paper online, captioning it. HOA thinks they're the law now. Views climb fast, 300,000 by noon. Comments exploding. Same in Ohio. They find my dad out of his farm. I'm shaking, not from fear, but from the weight of it all. This isn't just me anymore. It's a pattern. That afternoon, Mike rolls up, face grim. Ran that grant. Rural Stability Initiatives got old Fed fingerprints. Your memo's in their archives, Jake. They twisted it. I nod, jaw tight. Soft power turned hard. He slides me a USB drive. Found this in Karen's P.O. box drop. Someone mailed it, unmarked. I plug it in. Files, drone logs, audio of my porch talks with Mike, a profile on me, Callahan, Jake. Autonomous. Disruptive. Priority target. My own voice echoes from a 2009 recording outlining rural control tactics. I slam the laptop shut, pulse racing. They weaponized my words. Mike's quiet. There's more. Karen's a test case. Program's live, just buried. Back at Karen's, she's doubling down. Sarah texts, guilty, shaky. I didn't know it'd go this far, Jake. She paid me $200 to watch you. I don't reply. I'm too raw. Instead, I post the USB files, every damning bite, tagging news outlets. By nightfall, it's viral, 500,000 views, trending on X. Reporters call, strangers message. They marked my land too. Karen's crew hits Jerry again, paint on his fence, vacate, in black. He texts a photo, kids crying in the background, and I feel it snap, enough. I grab my old Navy recorder, rig it to a speaker, and blast the 2009 audio across my property. Control through compliance. It echoes, a ghost of my past, and the sedan down the road peels out fast. Next morning, Mike's at the station when deputies raid Karen's place, warrant in hand. Dash cam rolling. He texts, found a back room, binders, monitors, your barn on freeze frame. She's toast. I'm feeding Buddy when a news van pulls up, Channel 7, Macon. A reporter, Lisa, shoves a mic at me. Mr. Callahan, you exposed an HOA scam? I nod, voice rough. It's bigger than that. Check the files. She grins. We are. By noon, Karen's indicted, harassment, fraud, impersonation, but the USB's last file haunts me. Phase 4, correction. Encrypted, locked. I don't crack it yet. I just sit with Buddy, his paw healing, and watch the views hit 700,000. Karen's crumbling, but something's still out there. That night, I'm on the porch, tea in hand, when a text pings, unknown. You think you won? I stare at it, the cicadas screaming, and feel the air shift. Across the county, Mike's digging deeper. Federal contacts stonewall him, but he finds a name tied to the grant. Richard Hayes, ex-DOD, my old boss. My stomach drops. I worked with him on that memo. I post one last update. This isn't over. Stay sharp. Comments flood, support, fear, stories. Buddy nudges my hand, and I whisper, we're in it now, boy. Karen's down. But the machine she served? It's waking up, and it knows my name. I'm sitting on my porch, Buddy curled up beside me, when the news breaks. Karen's face plastered across Channel 7, handcuffs glinting as deputies haul her off. The headline screams, HOA fraud exposed, local woman indicted. My phone's buzzing, 1.2 million views on the USB files now, reporters begging for interviews, strangers thanking me from Idaho to Maine. I sip my tea, the Georgia sun dipping low, and feel a flicker of triumph. But that last text, you think you won? Sits heavy in my gut. Karen's down, sure, but the machine behind her? That's still humming, and I've got one card left to play, that locked Phase 4 file. I glance at Buddy, his paw almost healed, and mutter, time to finish this, boy. Hey, before we wrap up, where are you reading from? Drop it in the comments, or hit subscribe if you've stuck with me this far. I'd love to know who's out here fighting the good fight with me. Anyway, back to it. Mike rolls up at dawn, coffee in hand, eyes tired. Karen's singing, claims she was recruited by a consultant, some suit named Richard Hayes. My old DOD boss. I nod slow. Knew him in '09. Worked that memo together. Mike slides me a printout, email from Hayes to Karen, dated last year. Test the model. Callahan's perfect. Perfect? I'm a guinea pig in my own nightmare. Feds are sniffing, Mike adds. Rural stability initiatives officially dead, but offshoots linger. Hayes is off-grid now, consulting gig in D.C., they say. I stare at the USB, its locked file glaring back. Then let's crack it, I say. Across town, Jerry's picking up pieces, his barn windows fixed, kids laughing again. He calls, voice lighter. They backed off, Jake. Signs are gone. I smile, but it's tight. Good man. Stay sharp. Back here, I'm hunched over my laptop with Mike, a decryption tool humming, $50 software, worth its weight in gold. The file pops open at 3 a.m. Phase 4, correction. Objective, reset resistance. Method, relocation incentives, behavioral adjustment. It's a blueprint, rural towns mapped, names listed, mine at the top. Audio clips too. Hayes, calm as ever. Callahan's a prototype. Break him, perfect the system. My chest burns. They didn't just target me. They studied me, twisted my own work into this. Next morning, I'm on the phone with Lisa from Channel 7, spilling it all. Hayes, the program, the files. This isn't just Karen, I tell her. It's bigger, federal roots, quiet cash. She's scribbling fast. We're running it tonight. By noon, I post the decrypted file online. 1.5 million views in hours, trending nationwide. Comments flood. They tried this in Kansas. My uncle sold under pressure. Mike's at the station, digging Hayes Trail, dead ends, but whispers of a Midwest reboot. That afternoon, a certified letter hits my box. No return address, just coordinates. Nebraska, flat and cold. A warning? A taunt? I burn it, watching the ashes curl, and feel Buddy nudge my leg. We're not running, I whisper. Karen's crew scatters. Tom quits. Dave vanishes. Sarah texts an apology. I don't answer. The sedan's gone. Drone's silent, but the quiet's uneasy. Mike pulls up later, grim but steady. Feds opened an inquiry. Hayes is named. Programs under review. You rattled them, Jake. I nod, staring at the hills. Enough. He shrugs. For now. That night, Lisa's story airs. Ex-military man exposes rural conspiracy, and my inbox overflows. Support, tips, please. It started here too, one reads. They called it a coalition. What do? I reply, simple. Fight your fight. They've got the map, but you've got the ground. Weeks pass. Buddy's paw heals, the barn stands, my fence stays crooked, and I like it that way. I'm sipping beer on the porch when Mike texts. Hayes surfaced, consulting in Omaha. No charges yet. I lean back, the cicadas humming, and feel the weight lift, just a little. Karen's gone, jail awaits her, but Hayes? He's a shadow, and shadows don't fade easy. I post one last update. Won the battle, not the war. Watch your land, folks. Views climb, comments roll, people waking up. Buddy barks at a passing truck, and I laugh. Real this time. They thought I'd break. They forgot who I am. A guy who doesn't quit, not when it's mine to protect. But out there, past the pines, something's still moving. And I'll be ready.